I'm a longtime Resident Evil fan.
Oh, I know.
You don't stop talking.
If you watch, it's been a rough history in terms of adaptations. There's like nice little bits here and there, but they haven't ever really gotten it right. And I think initially when he got brought on board, I was like, great, I love Barbarian. I think he'd alluded to the fact that he's not going to be like doing a 1-to-1 of the games. No characters. It's basically a character going from point A to B. He's going to do crazy like Evil Dead 2 style camera movements. I'm like, oh,
Nice.
fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. If it's vibes the movie and it feels like Resident Evil, at this point, I'm on board. Even in the games themselves, like Resident Evil 7 didn't involve any of the characters from the original series until the very end. So even if it's something like that, a contained story in a location with monsters, even if it's not zombies and it feels like Resident Evil, I'm fine.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm too old. I'm just too old to care. They tried it with Welcome to Raccoon City.
Now, that was the one that was more faithful
Literally,
to the
yes.
game. Okay, that's kind of what he was talking about, I think,
Yeah.
as well, where he's like, I'm not going to do the story from the game because you've played the game.
Exactly.
And like,
Yeah.
and I totally agree with that. Now, for something like The Last of Us, you kind of have to follow that
There's
narrative
differences,
because so
yeah.
much of that hangs on like the relationship between those two characters.
Right.
Like, you can't do a side story and just call it The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, you have a little bit more room to do that.
We've had those conversations too. I was worried after The Last of Us that every video game adaptation was going to be like that. It doesn't need to be like that. And then case in point, when Fallout comes out and it doesn't adapt a specific story, it's just within that world, and it was perfect. He does that for Resident Evil. I think it's going to be a straight banger. Both of his movies are just complete vibes.
His tone fits too because like he's got the scary element of it, but Resident Evil also has a, a hint of camp to it and like
yes.
fun, and I feel like his previous two movies have shown that obviously.
And even some of the later entries gets fucking crazy. It's wild. Just tell a story about a character trying to survive. The game's about survival. I'm actually looking forward to it.